With the 2025 Daytona 500 looming ever closer, it's time for the first edition of my 2025 NASCAR Cup Series Power Rankings. Who will take the top spot heading into Week 1? Without further ado, let's get into it.
Where do you go? Larson up top, all the way up top. Busher, he's on the outside. He's in position. He's got it.
Jimmy Johnson through 3 and 4. Make room. Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt. There's another 7-time champ. Jimmy Johnson wins his 7th NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship.
Starting in the basement, I got Cody Ware, followed by Ty Dillon and John Hunter Nemechek. I'm expecting John Hunter Nemechek's name to be higher on this list as the season goes on. Legacy Motor Club should improve. They were a top 20 in points contender through the spring. They just got to avoid that summer fall off, and this team should be higher than 34th. Just ahead of them, I have Cole Custer in the 41. Haas Factory team really was a complete unknown when I was making this. We don't know what to expect. Are they going to be good? Are they going to be bad? I'm leaning towards probably not great. Although they have been claiming they're going to be a 4th RFK car throughout the entire offseason, I just need to see the results before I can officially deem them as such. So 33rd is where I have them. Then you got Austin Dillon, AJ Allmendinger. Riley Herbst has the equipment to be in a playoff spot. The real question is he going to make the most of this opportunity? 2311 Racing was in the championship 4 last year. Riley Herbst needs to at least be close. I don't know if he is in a position to be in the playoff conversation, and he's a rookie. We usually see rookies underperform their first year, so I got to put him top 30, but he's got a lot of room to improve. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., I'm expecting a lot of surprises out of this team. I don't think this team really changes all that much from going from JTG to Hayek. They'll probably be really good at the super speedways, and they'll probably have 1 or 2 performances outside of drafting tracks where we think, wow, this team ran really good. But yeah, I can't really put them higher. I think there's just too many good drivers going into this year, too many good opportunities for people to improve. So I got to put Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on 29. I know a lot of people are going to think that having SVG at 28th is criminally low, but think about it. We only have 5-6 road courses in the season. That still leaves 30 ovals. I don't think SVG is going to really be that outstanding on the ovals, and I don't think we should be really putting that much stock in road courses when there's only 1 in the playoffs this year. If there was 2 like there was last year, I could easily put SVG higher, but not right now. SVG is going to have to prove to me that the ovals are not going to be as big of a challenge as we all think they are for him. Josh Berry at 27th. The Wood brothers haven't really contended for a playoff spot since Matt DiBenedetto left in 2021. The real question is this equipment still a playoff contender? If not, we're going to find that out pretty quickly. Josh Berry, for the most part, we've heard is a really good driver. Now we're just going to have to see if he's in the right equipment. Zane Smith at 26th. This is a safe spot for him considering the fact his rookie year was pretty rocky. He's going to have to prove that the second half of the season wasn't an anomaly, and that it's now the new norm, that he's got this Cup Series thing figured out. 24th, I have Carson Hocevar. 23rd, Eric Jones. Eric Jones should be getting back to his contending ways this year. I mean, hey, he just about won the duels had the caution not been thrown. I'm really high on Eric Jones to contend this year, and I'm expecting him to probably crack the top 20 by the end of the year. Justin Haley in 22nd, Ryan Preece in 21st. The last time Ryan Preece got in what we thought was a contender, we hadn't sold the ship on that team. We all thought that was a playoff contender. Now he's going to a team that has proven they are still a playoff contender, as they got both their cars in the playoffs last year. Now Ryan Preece has no more excuses. I'm putting him at 21st because I do believe the RFK equipment can contend. However, the driver himself has to prove that he can finish the job. Daniel Suarez cracks the top 20. Michael McDowell in 19th. I just have one question for Michael McDowell and why I don't have him higher. Is can your success from front row carry over to Spire? I mean, he really showed up at the road courses and the super speedways, but Ford's always been good at the super speedways. So my real question is, was it you or was it front row? I want to say it was Michael McDowell, but I gotta first see how these first couple weeks at Spire go before I can make a definitive answer. Austin Cindric is 18th. Todd Gilliland misses out on the top 16, but I think he's going to continue to improve as he's done every single year he's in the Cup Series. He's continued to show flashes of potential winning speed. He was really dominant in the spring Atlanta race and really showed up in the top 15 week in, week out throughout the summer. So I got really high hopes for him. That's why I got him 17th. I have him making the playoffs this year, and I think by the end of the year, the power rankings will reflect that as well. Bubba Wallace in 16th. He's contended for the playoffs every single year. This is usually where we tend to find Bubba, so I think putting him here to start the year isn't too crazy. Can he win in the regular season, though? Everyone's been asking that question all speed weeks. Can he win in the regular season? That is the question we're going to have to get answered really quickly. And if he goes another season without winning, he's going to start proving the haters right. Ty Gibbs cracks the top 15. He struggled at the end of last year, finished outside the top 30 in the last 5 races. That's horrendous for a JGR car, but JGR as a whole was kind of off the second half of the year. Can he get his first win this year? I know a lot of people are really high on him going into last year. A lot of people are still kind of high on him going into this year, especially because we've seen guys like Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, all get those wins in their third year. If Ty Gibbs is as good as we think he is, this is the year he's got to prove it. Chase Briscoe in 14th. He's coming over from SHR. He is in the best equipment he could possibly be in at this point in his career. Chase Briscoe's already shown he's an amazing driver by winning the Southern 500 in SHR equipment last year. I expect him to be fighting for a top 10 in these power rankings by the end of the year. Chris Buescher in 13th. I'm expecting him to be a top 10 fighter week in, week out for the power rankings. He had a lot of opportunities slip through his fingers, especially in the spring with Darlington and Kansas. Chris Buescher should be a top 10 driver this year. I got Kyle Busch in 12th. Call it a hot take, call it delusion, call it whatever you want. I still think Kyle Busch is easily one of the top 12 best drivers in the Cup Series, bar none. I said he was going to win multiple races this year. I'm going to keep going with it. Kyle Busch, 12th. There's no debate for me. He is still one of the greatest drivers. Tell me who you would have over Kyle Busch. Brad Keselowski misses out on the top 10. A lot of people are really down on Keselowski this year. Some have him missing the playoffs. I don't know why. Yeah, he struggled in the playoffs last year, but I don't think that's indicative of what this regular season is going to be. I still have Brad Keselowski as one of the best drivers in the field. The equipment is getting better every week. The driver seems to be refining his mojo. Brad Keselowski is a fringe top 10 driver right now, and wouldn't shock me if we have the discussion of him being in the top 10 throughout the season. Ross Chastain kicks off the top 10. He missed the playoffs, I know, but he won at Kansas. He had opportunities to win, much like Buescher. They just slipped through, especially Texas in the spring. I think Ross Chastain gets things going back in the right direction, and I think he's top 10 right now going into 2025. Alex Bowman at 9th. He barely missed out on the round of 8 because of some missing ballast. Had that not happened, he probably contends for a championship 4 spot, and I think we are all in for an Alex Bowman resurgence this year. Denny Hamlin at 8th. I have him this low because he hasn't won since Dover. That was race 11 of 36 last year. I've predicted him to go winless this year. I still think he makes the playoffs. I still think he'll be contending for wins, but I think it's going to be a less than stellar year for the number 11 team. Defending champ Joey Logano, I have at 7th. I think a lot of people have him lower because of his 2024 regular season. But hey, if it gets you a championship, I'll take it. William Byron is 6th. I kind of penalized him the same way I penalized Denny Hamlin. William Byron hasn't won since before Denny Hamlin. Race 8 at Martinsville in that dominant 1-2-3 finish for Hendrick Motorsports. But I think there's a lot more optimism. William Byron had a really good playoffs. He was top 10 in every race outside of Watkins Glen and Bristol. Made it to the championship 4 for the second time. If William Byron gets off to a really hot start again, who's to say that won't carry him to another championship 4 spot? At number 5, I got fan favorite Chase Elliott. He got back to victory lane at Texas last year. I know it was a while since that race, but he won the preseason clash at Bowman Gray, which is really good momentum. He made the round of 8, and he was a contender in the Martinsville race to make the championship 4. I got Christopher Bell right now as the 4th best driver in the field. He won 3 races last year. Now, it also needs to be noted that the last of those 3 wins came at Loudon at the halfway mark of the season. So Christopher Bell is also riding quite a winless streak himself. He's gonna have to get back to victory lane in order to keep himself at number 4, but I think talent-wise, he's the 4th best driver, and he's in the best equipment at Joe Gibbs Racing. And number 3, and I think you'll probably have this guy at 3, 2, some may even have him at 1 right now, Tyler Reddick. He got 3 wins last year. He made it to the championship 4, but he really struggled in the playoffs last year. And I'm not sure how alarming that is. We know it's hard to beat Penske, Hendrick, and JGR, so I'm not sure if Reddick can get back to the championship 4 this year, but he definitely has the talent to do so, and the equipment seems to be able to get him there as well. Ryan Blaney is 2nd on my power rankings. He got 3 wins last year, had a really good playoffs, and honestly, if Joey Logano wasn't his teammate, Ryan Blaney may have won back-to-back championships from moving Joey Logano out of the way on the last lap. In order to be number 1, he's just got to get out of everyone else's mess. We saw that time and time again last year. It really hurt him. If he can steer clear of everyone else's problems, Ryan Blaney may be the best driver in the field. However, winning 6 races, finishing 2nd in the regular season, despite missing the Coca-Cola 600, Kyle Larson is my number 1 on the power rankings to start 2025. There were many a times he overstepped and wrecked out, which cost him good finishes and probably cost him a shot at the championship 4, but I think he is still easily the best driver in the field. He's one of the favorites to win the 2025 title. I think Kyle Larson should be the number 1 driver going into this year. Whether he stays there, that is a debate to have, but I think you at least have to give him number 1 to start the year. So there you have it, my power rankings for all 36 full-time drivers for the 2025 season. Do you agree with my list? Do I have someone too high going into the season? Do I have someone criminally low? Let me know down in the comments section below. While you're there, I encourage you to like this video and subscribe so you never miss any of the content here. Until next time, I'm Morgan Wiebe. Have a good day, everyone.
Where do you go? Larson up top, all the way up top. Busher, he's on the outside. He's in position. He's got it.
Jimmy